Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode. So in the previous week, we have spoken about categories of food processing, how ultra-processed food is bad for us, and also ways to recognize ultra-processed food. So this week, we shall speak about the 6 ways to cut down ultra-processed food from our daily diet. So the first way to cut down ultra-processed food is actually to make gradual changes. While it may be very tempting to make drastic dietary changes, chances are that you may go back to square one within a short period of time. If you are one of those whose diet is filled with ultra-processed food, making changes slowly is more sustainable and effective on the long run. Some research also suggests that minor lifestyle changes help form long-lasting habits and make actions that are initially difficult much easier over time. Each week, try cutting down on 1 or 2 ultra-processed food. For example, if you are one of those who drink syrup limau ice, carbonated drinks, or even store-bought fruit juices, try replacing it with water instead. And after a few days, try to cut down another source of added sugar. This will not only help ease you into changes mentally, but it will also reduce the symptoms that you may experience. The second thing to cut down on ultra-processed food is always shop on the store's perimeter. There's always a reason why it is recommended that you should always shop the shop's edges before you go to the middle aisles. This is because fresh produce such as vegetables, fruits and whole grains are almost always located at the corner of the stores, where else the ultra-processed food are always stored in the shelves in the middle of the supermarket. This way, you'll be able to prevent yourself from purchasing too much of ultra-processed food. Similarly, another way is always load up your trolley with fresh produce. Once your trolley is already loaded with fresh vegetables and fruits, chances are that your brain will signal you to pay and leave the supermarket instead of purchasing more ultra-processed food. Don't be fooled by advertising caption. If you find fat or sugar modified food such as fat-free mayonnaise or sugar-free yogurt, be extra alert. How do you think the taste of this food is maintained if they claim the food to be a healthier version? Of course, then this food contains artificial ingredients like additives and sweeteners to make it taste as good, therefore making it more processed and potentially less healthful for you. Another way to cut down on ultra-processed food is to make your own version of traditionally processed food. Instead of purchasing mass-produced French fries, sausages, nuggets or even banana cake, why don't you make your own French fries at home, replace nuggets with chicken instead, and also bake your own banana cake. If you are craving for some flavored yogurt, try chopping some fruit into your plain yogurt and add some honey and maple syrup instead. I know, even store-bought bread can be ultra-processed, right? So why don't you invest in a bread maker, or if you are in the mood of baking, try to make your own bread from scratch. The next way to cut down on ultra-processed food is always go to the supermarket with a grocery list and never visit the supermarket with hunger. Let's talk a little bit of science. Science says that being hungry not only want to make you buy food, but it can also lead to expensive shopping binge. In other words, your empty belly may be responsible for your empty wallet. One study involved 379 volunteers who took part in 5 behavioral experiments. The results indicate that hunger has a direct impact on the number of items a person buys, even if the item can't satisfy hunger. There are also numerous studies which shows that whatever is in our mind at a given time can influence the way we behave, our actions, and also how we interpret things. In case of hunger, it's pretty straightforward. When we are hungry, we want food or we want to get stuffed. And when we get the opportunity to get stuffed, we may end up buying food items that will not even end up satisfying our hunger. The last way to cut down on ultra-processed food is to cut down intake of processed meat if you can't avoid animal products, and supplement your meal with fresh food. Processed meat such as bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and lunch meats are classified as carcinogens or cancer-causing by International Agency for Research on Cancer. Therefore, it is advised that you swap these processed meat with a lesser processed variety of meat like fresh salmon, turkey, and even chicken meat. Also make sure whenever you are preparing meal at home to include at least one serving of vegetables to increase intake of healthful unprocessed food. This can be as simple as including sautéed vegetables, steamed vegetables, or even raw vegetables such as salad, sliced cucumber, baby carrots, and also cherry tomatoes. On the other hand, you can also replace your animal-based protein with plant-based protein because plant-based proteins are mostly unprocessed or only minimally processed. That's all for today. Till we meet again next week, stay safe and be well. Goodbye.